What? We do it live here.
Single take.
Oh no. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were going, so I had it.
Nah, it's episode 203. We're here doing the normal stuff.
Nice.
I'm JJ today, and with me, as always, is Michael.
Hey, everybody.
And Andrew.
Hey.
And I don't know, felt like switching it up today for no reason, so don't read anything into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I didn't do a ton this week because I was eating and hanging out at home. So, oh man, we cooked like food. This past weekend was a holiday of a religious nature.
Multiple.
And
for lots of different people,
yeah, several different holidays happened around this time.
Or are still happening by the time this is out.
Oh yeah, fair. Very true. And since we couldn't have our typical Easter dinner with my parents or them, we decided that my wife and I were like, you know what we need? We need to have some barbecue. So we ordered barbecue on the internet, which you can do.
Have done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And had it shipped to our house. And you know, it's one of those where like it's basically already cooked, but it was all vacuum sealed and packaged nice and cold for you.
Almost frozen in a dry ice container kind of thing.
Yes, sir. And so we got a rack of ribs and a nice big brisket.
Hold up. Pork or beef? Ribs.
Pork ribs. Okay. Yeah. They did not have the option to ship beef ones. My wife is a big fan of beef ribs, but it was not to be since there was no such option.
Yeah, I can imagine each one's
Seems
like
it'd be
$6 to ship.
Oh, gosh,
it'd be really hard to ship a beef rib. They're pretty big, yeah. Like it would take up it's like you'd fit it at an angle in the box or something. I don't even know how it would fit.
You just need a bigger box. We're gonna need a bigger box.
So we broke out that brisket for dinner on Sunday, and that's some good barbecue, you guys.
Where'd you order from?
It's called Black's Barbecue in Texas.
Free
shot. I know of Black's. Yep.
Yeah. I had not heard of it, didn't know that it was like an online thing that you could order from. And then my brother-in-law was like, hey man, you should do this. We're doing this and this is really good. We've done it a couple times. I'm like, oh, okay. Then we looked at it and we're like, oh, this seems reasonable. So we did that and got some of their barbecue sauce with it. And that was also really good. Except that they also had a ghost pepper chili barbecue sauce.
What's not good about that?
It was good. I just think that it's a like small amounts, Yeah.
Yeah.
For comparison, right? The normal barbecue sauce comes in like I don't want to say like a giant container, but it's like, a pretty good sized container, maybe like 18 ounces, 20 ounces, something like that. The ghost pepper chili sauce comes in like a hot sauce bottle sized container.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't use as much even if you wanted to, but also you shouldn't.
Do you think there's a hot sauce called Tread Lightly? There's got to be, right?
That seems like something someone would do.
Because I feel like that's the bottle. Like when you get a barbecue sauce, quote unquote, that's in a bottle like that.
Yeah.
That's what they're telling you.
Yeah. Well, they were right. It is very spicy. So I ended up doing a bunch of like a couple dabs of that stuff and then a bunch of the other barbecue sauce mixed together. And that was pretty good, actually. Don't know if that's what I was supposed to do, but there were no directions. And that's what I felt like doing. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good. And then we had leftover barbecue for lunch today and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. We also did barbecue on Sunday for dinner.
Love it.
Yep. We stuck local though. We ordered a family feast for just the two of us from Wood Ranch.
Yeah, that place is pretty good. I've been there once or twice at least, so I like it.
It had been a long time since I had eaten there. So we got brisket and ribs and pulled pork and a bunch of sides and then some fantastic peach cobbler for dessert.
And you got
that sounds gross because I hate peaches, but otherwise that sounds really good.
More for me.
Yep.
It's one of those places where you just have enough now that you never have to go shopping again.
Oh, it'll probably be 4 meals for us.
Yeah.
Nice.
This was a relatively small brisket. We got the smaller of the two that you could order. The other one is like 4 pounds or something. And I think that's meant for a family of 5 or 6 or something.
Well, I have a family of 4, and a 7-pound ham was still way too much.
Oh, yeah, dude. You got to think, like, a pound of meat per person is a lot, generally.
Yeah. Well, there's a bone in there, so it's not quite fair.
Yeah, okay, I guess that's true. Yeah, you're talking like the whole spiral ham, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, there's quite a bit in there you're not eating.
That's true. It's true.
How did that go? I assume it ended up pretty good.
It's always good. Yeah. I mean, how do you like your...
Wow, okay, I guess this is more complicated.
We had a lively debate during Zoom dinner about how to have served the ham.
So, okay, I'm not a honey-baked ham person.
It's fine. Not a lot of people are.
Right off the bat.
Are you a Virginia ham person or none of the ham person? Because there seems to be 2 camps there. Oh, Virginia ham?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like a really salty ham.
I
don't really have a good description of Virginia ham because that's not my favorite. I just remember being very salty.
Okay. I have had ham that is very salty. I think I generally prefer it not that way.
Okay. Well, this question was more about heat.
Like in how you cook it?
Versus...
Yeah, well, because a honey-baked ham is ready to roll. It's cooked. It's preserved. It's cooked. You could just serve.
You got to heat it up before you serve it, though.
No, see, that's the thing. They give you heating instructions, but the heating instructions, if you actually read them, suggest you do not heat it. It's ready to serve.
So they're saying you should eat it room temp?
That's what they suggest. This is, like I said, it was a lively debate. People thought they wanted it hot. Some people wanted it straight out of the fridge, etc.
Okay, I don't know about straight out of the fridge. That's cold. That's weird. I think I could be into like room temp. I think I would be okay with room temp, like buffet style. It had been sitting there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or warm, I would be into. Cold, I'm not into. That's like at the point that it's cold, I should be eating a sandwich with it.
Well, see, that's what I was just going to say. I was going to say room temp, Hawaiian roll, a little bit of mustard.
I had a lot of bit of mustard.
You had a dancing plethora of mustards.
I did. I sent a picture of 5 mustard bottles that looked interesting.
Purchased for this occasion, or like you just had 5 mustard bottles laying around?
Purchased for this occasion.
Okay, it's a lot of mustard.
Yeah,
so it was going to be weird if you just had them around.
One of the mustards ended up being kind of like a mayonnaise mustard.
It was like an aioli almost.
Dijonnaise, yeah, kind of like that kind of thing.
Okay.
With a lot of like peppercorns in it. That was really good. But of course it's, mustard's like 5 calories a tablespoon or something like that because it's supposed to just be vinegar and spices.
Right.
And this was like 85.
Yeah, they got eggs in there.
There's a lot of egg in there. Yeah. Anyway, that was our heated debate. Thanks. Brought to you by Zoom for 40 minutes.
Was there a consensus there about what was the way to go?
We all eventually conceded that no one would be upset if it were room temp, basically, but that the 2 heated camps of hot and cold were not going to see eye to eye.
Huh.
Okay.
It like wasn't overwhelmingly in favor, and like there was one person on each side or something, right? It was like pretty split. I'm just curious because I don't think I've ever thought of this before ever in my life.
I know, because it was served one way, right? At your anytime you had it, it was always just the way that it was.
Yeah, I was not the person in charge. I didn't get to choose how the ham was.
A 7-pound ham was laid in my lap, and I researched how to serve it.
The real problems of being an adult, right there.
Right? Exactly. Like, who thought we'd have to take over our own dinner tables by now?
Speaking of coming to consensus, JJ, you should weigh in on another debate that we had over the weekend.
Oh, good.
Rank for me.
Oh, no,
best to worst. The 4 Starburst flavors.
Original
Starburst flavors.
Okay,
flavors.
so we gotta
you can do it by color.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know that I know what the flavors even.
No,
are.
just
Fine,
do
it doesn't
the
matter
color,
what the
'cause
flavors
That's
are.
what everybody knows.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, is he going top to bottom or bottom to top?
He's going top to bottom.
So
Impetus
best first.
Impetus for this is Easter eggs were filled with lots of Starburst because it was easy to get.
Sure. Starburst, good candy, by the way.
I
I'm a
agree.
fan.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Time out. Derailment.
I like Starburst. What's
Would
wrong
you
with
take?
that?
No. You're good. You're good. Would you take a Starburst or a Jolly Rancher? I have one in each hand. You can have either.
I'll Starburst 1,000 times out of 100.
All right, Michael, you're on the losing end of that.
I'm
one.
alone on that.
I don't like the hard candy Jolly Rancher. That's just not. I don't want to suck on it for an hour. I want to eat that Starburst. That's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So okay,
You're in the majority. You're in the majority already.
I felt comfortable in that opinion. Okay, so best to worst of the flavors, right?
Best to worst. Okay.
So I gotta hold on. I gotta remember all the flavors. So there's the yellow one, there's the orange one, the red one, and the pink one.
Correct.
Yeah,
those are the 4, right?
That's it.
Yep.
Okay. So I think I would put the pink one at the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
And so we're gonna do pink, and then orange. Would I rather have yellow or red? I eat a lot of yellow because most people don't like it. And so I end up just eating them a bunch. But I think I would rather have the red one before the yellow one.
Okay.
But they're always gone and the yellow one is always left. So I end up eating a bunch of those because I'm not picky.
And Andy and I were both holding our breath.
Oh, God. Thank God. Oh, we might have had to end the podcast.
Well, is yellow universally agreed to be the worst?
I really honestly
that was
believe
the only consensus.
I honestly believe you bring it to tied by the way between red and pink being number 1.
Red? No. Who
I
likes
agree.
red? What's with
I
that
agree. Red,
category?
no. You're right. Red, no. It should.
Pink,
your
yes.
order is correct. Pink, orange, red, yellow.
No.
Yeah.
I agree exactly. However, the only consensus was that you're a sociopath if you think yellow is best. Or actually, if you think yellow is not worst.
Yeah, yellow is objectively the least good tasting flavor of them. But because I like Starburst, I end up eating a bunch of them. And because if you go into the dish at work or whatever, not that exists anymore, but if it did during Halloween or whatever,
Yeah.
the yellow ones end up being left all the time.
See, if I walked past
And I would just eat them because I like Starburst.
Yeah, but if I walked past a tray of yellows, I'd just be like, I'm good.
Nah. I would rather have that than one of those I'm trying to think of what are the other low tier Halloween candies that I would take yellows over.
The tray is now, it's the end of the Friday after Halloween. Everyone's on their way home. They've demolished the dish, which will no longer exist after coronavirus.
True.
All that's left is yellow Starbursts, blue raspberry Jolly Ranchers.
No. I will take those pretty much off the top.
And the extra long Tootsie Roll, not the extra thick one. And what's that really terrible Smarties hard candies?
Okay, yeah, Smarties are low tier for sure. They're just chalk.
What you have to take one.
Okay, so I'm taking the Starburst there for sure.
Oh, and I'm taking the Jolly Rancher.
Okay, all right. You don't get a Jolly Rancher choice. The Jolly Ranchers are gone. I threw them away.
Okay, then of that, I'm actually taking the Smarties. As long as they're the on-brand ones. The off-brand ones are chalk.
Yeah.
On-brand ones aren't good either, but yeah, I can respect the Smarties pick. I would prefer the Starburst.
I'd probably take a Tootsie Roll over a yellow Starburst.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about okay, I know I'm a candy corn defender, but what about candy corn for you guys?
Nope. You lost me.
Candy corn is trash.
I like candy corn.
You're eating a flavored candle. It's literally what you're eating.
It's as much sugar as a Tootsie Roll, basically. It's just not chocolate. So
they make chocolate candy corns.
yeah, and they're bad actually.
Yeah, they are. They're just as bad as normal candy corn.
The regular ones are better.
Oh,
they don't
boy.
try to make them taste like chocolate. They're just like, look, man, this is just hard sugar. Just eat it. Like, yeah.
I never thought Easter would be the candy holiday. That got us to talk about candy.
Oh, hey, okay. Here's another controversial opinion about candy. You know those Easter themed Reese's peanut butter eggs they sell?
Yeah.
Cadbury eggs or Reese's.
No,
Reese's eggs.
Reese's eggs. What do y'all think about those?
I like them. I like all the holiday Reese's because they're a higher peanut butter ratio.
So you like it because it's more peanut butter, less chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the opinion right there. I like that one. I love the eggs because they are like 80% chocolate and like 5%, or sorry, the other way around. 80% peanut butter, like 20% chocolate. Whereas normal ones, I feel like, are like 85% chocolate with a teeny little bit of peanut butter in the middle.
My strongest memory of, I must have been 6th grade, is a kid in our class got an Reese's Easter egg as a Valentine, the size of his head.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yes.
This is like only peanut butter there.
It came in a box, like a hard box, and he slowly slid it out of the box as if it were some kind of wrapper and ate it across the top of the box over the course of an entire day.
Wow.
He made it about 2/3 of the way and got sick.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Like I said, vivid memory. Yeah, all those holiday ones are good. I like the trees. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm not as fan of a tree, but
Is that controversial? I thought everyone liked the holiday ones.
I don't know. I feel like the people that eat Reese's, there's some people eating them because they like chocolate, and then they get mad when the Easter ones come around because they're like mostly peanut butter.
Okay.
Whereas I'm there because it's peanut butter.
Ranking.
And the chocolate I would rather not have.
Ranking. Reese's Holiday, Reese's Mini Peanut Butter Cup, Reese's Snack Break Candy Bar, the crunchy Rice Krispie one, or Reese's Pieces.
Oof. So I've never had that rice one. I don't think I know what that's about.
It's like caramel, peanut butter, rice, and chocolate. Basically like a 100 grand, but more Reese's-y.
Okay. That sounds bad. I'm putting that at the bottom.
Okay.
It's deviating too much from the formula. It's not what I want. I haven't had Reese's Pieces since E.T., maybe.
Wow.
A really long time.
You might not even been old enough to eat a Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, that's probably true. How about the last time I saw E.T. then?
Okay, fair.
Which, to be fair, was like 15 years ago.
Before they changed it?
It got changed?
It did.
To what?
To re-release that film. I believe the story is Drew Barrymore, who's in that film, and Steven Spielberg, the director.
He is the director.
I believe in order for the studio to release it, required, both of them maybe, required digitally changing all of the secret agent government people's guns into flashlights.
Yes, I do remember hearing this story.
I remember hearing about this, yes.
Which looks very weird with the people standing around with shotguns.
You don't have a pump action flashlight at home, Andy?
I just changed the episode title from... Okay.
Pump action flashlight is pretty amazing. I'm not going to lie. I look.
I just want to know what that is.
Yeah, so
is that
extra light? No,
you
just, load it and you get more light. Here you go.
See this? Is it a pump action D battery ejector? Basically, like, oh, it's running low. More D batteries.
That would be great.
No, it's like the flash function is like on the pump. You pump it and you get a, like
flashbang,
a strobe.
The strobe.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, so I definitely saw it before that change. I don't remember that at all. I would have certainly laughed at that.
Yeah.
Although I guess I think now that you talk about that, I feel like I remember people reporting about it, saying that it was dumb because it's dumb.
It's pretty silly. Kids would never notice, which is fine. I guess it's better to have a kids version where there aren't as many guns. Maybe. I don't.
I mean, it's a kids movie, but also like the guns weren't the point of the movie. So,
exactly. It doesn't bother me. It's just
leave old movies alone.
You leave them alone, or at least provide them options for adults that they don't want to see weird CG things that throw them out of the movie. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind showing it to my kids with flashlights. They're not going to notice.
Sure.
I'd rather they watch E.T. I'm not going to say anything. But
hey, y'all got an opinion about Disney Plus editing the movie Splash?
What did they take the nudity out of it?
Y'all remember the movie Splash?
Yeah. It had nudity in it.
At the end, you see what's her name's behind.
Mm-hmm.
That is now Disney Plus Magic pixely blur filtered.
Okay.
Looks real bad.
Again, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Provide a kid's version if you really need to. Just leave it alone.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Okay, so here's my
Reese's.
ranking. Reese's Pieces, number 1. Number 2, because I can eat like 3 and then be done for a while, but then I could go back for more in 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But if I eat a celebration egg or whatever they are, like special event, I'm done for the day on Reese's.
Yeah.
But they're still the second best.
Yeah.
That whatever the candy bar is all right. It's weird, but it's not a Reese's. And then the minis are actually bad.
Yeah, so I'm with you on the minis being bad. I haven't had that other one, so I put it lower. But the minis are certainly the worst of those other ones because they're like 80% chocolate again, and the whole point of the Reese's is the peanut butter. I think I like the egg better than I like Reese's Pieces, but again, I haven't had. Maybe I would change my mind if I had a Reese's Pieces again this decade. This has been a long time. All right. Well, speaking of playing old stuff, I played Halo.
I thought we were going to play through Reach.
Where you been, man? I've been playing Halo.
I have to say,
I have Reach installed. We could play Reach too.
I don't know what the heck happens during the day. Well, I know what happens. I have 2 children here that are locked in the house.
I'm working during the day, so.
I just mean like, then there's the night, and then it's gone. I don't understand.
Oh, you're saying how does the linear passage of time work? Yeah, no one knows.
Yeah, it seems to.
It's very complicated.
There's some sort of black hole time dilation thing happening, where once they go to bed, all my time has been sucked in. That's not how black holes work, but it's okay.
No, it's not. But I understand.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the world is outside of the black hole, and so the time passes here very quick relative to you.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're here all day, so the things I would do when they were at school, I don't get to do.
Well,
games.
That wouldn't include us playing Halo together anyway, because I can't do that at times when they would be in school normally anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but the stuff at night during Halo time is now was during. This is so uninteresting. Let's talk about Halo, which is interesting.
Is it interesting? I don't know. It's that game. It's on PC. I'm pretty bad at Halo.
You'll like Reach better.
I don't know. I like Halo pretty good. I don't think there's an issue.
Okay, this is one of the points I wanted to make and why I thought it might be interesting to play. I want to play through Reach first before I go back to Halo 1. So, hey, by the way, we didn't even talk about...
pretty mad. That's my guess.
Hold on. Time out. We didn't even talk about this. We're talking about this because currently, or at least this past weekend, Halo, the Master Chief Collection, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I believe it is no longer on sale.
It is not.
Okay. It was. And so
it was on sale.
We said, we're going stir crazy. Let's buy this thing.
Also, it was like, well, I guess to be fair, not all of them are out yet. But at the end of the day, it's like 5 games for what was like $30, $35 or something.
Isn't it 7 games?
Well, do you count the like remastered versions of those games as different games?
No, so it's 1 through 4 or 5.
1 through 4.
Is it just 4? I thought it was 5.
Okay, let's say it's 1 through 4, plus there's Reach and ODST. That's 6 games.
Going to my Steam library and I'm clicking on the thing. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, research.
Oh my god, research.
This is what happens when JJ's in charge. We get off track and we do research.
Immediately, everything is bad.
So anyway, I'll tell while you're looking that up. My point was I was going to start with Reach, I think, when I get into this, because I have a feeling that Halo 1 is fun but bad, and that Reach is a good game, maybe, or close to a good game. And I wanted that comparison of like having played Reach before, getting back into the swing of Halo on a game that is relatively good, and then trying to get the palette ready to try Halo 1 again.
Yeah,
Which
so it's
is
Halo
how many
4,
years old now?
It's Halos 1 through 4, ODST, and Reach.
So 6 games. Interesting that 5's not in there. 5's a Master Chief game.
Not as a part of this Master Chief collection.
All right. Someday.
Yeah, I suspect it will come.
Someday they'll give us nice things.
So the interesting thing I think about Halo 1 and 2 as in this collection, which I guess to be fair, Halo 2 is not out yet. The only ones that are out is Halo 1 and Reach. The Halo 1 has the like anniversary edition with like upgraded graphics and stuff.
Mm-hmm. The remake,
which you can toggle back to the original with the press of a button at any time.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And is hilarious how different they are.
That nostalgia factor.
Man, do you want to remember how few polygons made up some of these things?
Yeah, it's an Xbox, original Xbox. I guess you can't say Xbox One.
Yeah. So that's interesting. And I think Halo, the original Halo anniversary came out on the 360. So
yeah, that sounds right.
It's like that kind of level of graphics. But it's interesting. Man, I really like the pistol in that game. That's a good pistol.
The one-shot zooming pistol sniper gun.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
It's
Yeah,
good.
Dude, I don't even look at that sniper rifle. Don't even look at it.
I love that they didn't change it for anniversary. They're just like, no, it's good. That's
they
what
didn't
it was.
rebalance anything.
This is what people want.
Yeah. Well,
they didn't rebalance anything. They literally just were like, hey, what if we put nicer graphics here?
Yep.
Everything plays the same.
You'd have to put the battle rifle in that game to balance out the pistol. There's no other way. And you can't do that because you have to change all the weapon spawns and stuff.
Yeah, and then it's a Halo 2 thing at that point, right?
Right.
So, anyway, it's been fun. Yeah, good game. Still pretty hard in the campaign. I'm just playing like on normal or whatever, but I suck, so dial up.
It wasn't easy. I remember that Halo 1 and 2 were not... Halo 3, Halo Reach, Halo ODST, significantly easier games than Halo 1 and 2, I think.
I think the thing that I run into a lot is like I'm shooting, and I'm not noticing that
aiming.
My shield. Well, I don't aim. You know, when you're using the assault rifle, the crosshair is like 60% of the middle of your screen. It feels like.
So Halo 1,
who cares?
Halo 1's really bad about delineating where your bullet spread is.
The pistol is easy to figure out because the reticle is small, but all the rest of them are huge.
It goes perfectly straight.
Yeah.
No bullet drop, nothing.
Love it. And the sniper rifle doesn't have bullet drop either.
Does it not in Halo 1?
Don't think so.
Okay. I would believe you.
Shooting people from pretty far away.
I really would believe you, honestly.
I only used it the one time when they gave it to me to start the mission.
Yeah.
The only hard part in that game has been like not wanting to switch your weapons and throw the rocket launcher away.
There's not a lot of ammo for that thing anyway.
No, there isn't, but it's pretty nice when you just like you see the big brute guy and you're just like, goodbye.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
That's where Halo 3 and all those got a lot easier, where you're like, I'll just hold this rocket launcher because there's ammo for it everywhere.
Yeah. You will eventually find ammo for like your pistol or whatever, but like it eventually just ends up leading to you like having to use the alien guns, which all are kind of lame.
Yeah, that's the original Needler, I think, which was not good.
Yeah, the original needler, the alien rifle, and the alien pistol. The alien pistol's all right, but you need to have a second weapon besides that. And then the rifle one is not good. So that's your 15, 20 years too late take on Halo 1 from JJ.
Right on time for us.
Yeah. So what have you guys been up to?
I have another old game,
I love it.
Puzzle Quest.
Oh, that's a good game.
So I bought that for the Switch. I'm kind of burnt out on the
Seems
questing
like
of the puzzles.
Played a lot of Puzzle Quest.
Yeah, so it was my initial go-to to kill some time around here. I've switched as the go-to to kill time during the day when I need like 10 minutes or whatever to that Konami thing to try and get through all those puzzles eventually.
Oh, yeah. I'm still not all the way done. I'm at like 80% or something.
Okay. Puzzle Quest doesn't have that RPG. It's missing something in the RPG of the like the through line story is just not good. So eventually you kind of get worn out doing so many match 3s to try and keep going through the story.
Right.
And then it's just tedious. So that's going to become a every night 1 or 2 puzzles kind of thing. And it'll take me 2 or 3 years to get through that game.
I was just going to say that's going to be a long game.
But that's the point. I could log into that tomorrow completely having forgotten the story and I would miss nothing.
Yeah, the story is extremely inconsequential. All that matters is you have a sweet combo and you can get it off sometimes.
Well, and you start to think like, oh, I'm picking up all these people on my quest, right? And they're helping me fight certain types of enemies, and they usually talk during story stuff. So like you pick up the elf troll and undead hunter, or the princess who will help you fight against nobles, and they give you stat bonuses in combat. I came to kind of realize they're just talking items. You know,
Okay.
Basically, like you could have not gotten them. You'd just be missing their bonus. It's not like I don't know, Octopath Traveler or something where I have to pick up every companion because then I get more stories or whatever. No. Anyway.
Got it. So you could just like grind more and then just be like, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean,
although, as we know,
nice.
the end of that game is unbelievably cheap, so it may not matter.
That's the kind of reason I don't want to rush to it anyway, right? So
yeah.
And I picked up Fallen Order last night to try and push towards the end after a week off of it. My skills were good. I got a new ability wherein, I don't know if this exists in Dark Souls for you guys that are Dark Souls people. There's a block in that game, right?
Yes.
Do you have an ability or an attack that you can do from a block?
Some weapons can attack while blocking.
Okay.
Like if you have a spear, you can hold your shield up sometimes and attack with it.
Okay, so there's a new ability that you minor spoilers? Okay, not okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Minor spoilers, fast forward 15 seconds. You get a double-bladed lightsaber later on in the game. And if you block with it, you can split it in half while blocking an attack.
I see.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Well, so the game tries to teach you how to use this by sending hordes of enemies at you. Literal.
Forcing you to use the move.
Right, because you cannot not block, or you will be pummeled to death by all these enemies attacking you.
The Dark Souls way.
Yes. Literal hordes. My hands were so exhausted after dodge rolling and blocking and this split attack thing for 25 minutes and I was just like, well, I guess I'm done for the night. I was curious if that's ever been like an actual Dark Souls thing where you're like, I can't do more. I'm too tired.
So I've certainly gotten to a point in some of those games where, like, out of stress, I grip the controller harder.
Mm.
And then eventually, like, it starts hurting my hand because I'm, like, constantly holding down the trigger and, like, jamming the button or whatever. And it's, like, making my hand tired because I'm just holding it really tight.
Right.
I have to, like, remind myself to be like, okay, like, chill, man. It doesn't help to push the button harder. So yeah, like, controller hand fatigue is a thing for real. I don't know that I've ever experienced it in, like, the context of a Dark Souls game, except for in the case, like I mentioned, where I'm, like, in a boss fight and just, like, really tense, like, grabbing on it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it.
There you go.
Is the button press, like, really complicated? Do you have to do, like, forward and a thing and do something?
Oh, you just hold the block and then you hit X, and it does a swing for you.
You just have to time it right.
Yeah. I mean, there has gotten to be a lot of complicated sequences in that game. So, like, some examples, if you hit AY, you jump and then do a ground pound. If you hit AY, jump, do the ground pound, pull both triggers, you pull everyone that was ground pounded to you, then you can hit right on the D-pad to switch to the double blade, then YY to do a whirlwind attack with your... See what I mean?
Oof.
Yeah, so you're, like, you're playing the game. It sounds like you're playing the game there.
Yeah, but you kind of have to remember I mean, there's a combo for everything, for each button, attack button. There's, like, different combos based on the long press, short press, hold press for each type of lightsaber, plus force powers, plus you can throw the lightsaber, I think, too, plus there's a lot. There's just, and, like, they're all good for different situations.
Yeah, sure.
You better not do 3 quick attacks against a boss that has good block, because they'll stagger you back. But if you do 2 slow X attacks and then a Y attack against a boss, you might break their guard. But if you only do 2 slow X, you'll be, you know what I mean? Like,
what if you had, like, 50 different weapons and each one had its own attack string?
No.
And, like, a heavy attack and a slow attack, and then maybe some of those weapons were shields. You can attack with a shield, but you shouldn't.
I think I've said this before. I'm really glad this game has a Star Wars skin on it.
I think you might like Sekiro. That game has... You're only using the one sword because it's your sword, and that's how feudal Japan works. You might like that game. It is pretty... I won't say it's similar to this Jedi game, but the gameplay is similar in that there's, like, not a million attack strings or whatever that you have to learn.
Should we talk about one last old game?
Sure.
You're gonna not expect what it is, though. Battlestar Galactica, the board game.
Is that game old? I guess it is. It's been around a while.
2000 something. It's over a decade at least. Gotta be.
Okay.
I played it in Tabletop Simulator this weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
The game Tabletop Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly my comments are about Tabletop Simulator.
Uh-huh.
Which had a skin of an old game on it, so
Not surprising.
Tabletop Simulator is a very finicky but interesting program in which a lot of people get disconnected, but they know that they're going to get disconnected, so everything just stays the same as if you just left a table and came back. It's good. I think it's good. I'm sure it takes longer to play games than in person.
Well, yeah, undoubtedly, right?
And it takes longer until you learn each game in the program. So you need to know each game Then you need to know each game and how it works in the program. And there's weird stuff like Battlestar has dials, right, for fuel and morale and population and these things that you lose over the course of the game. You can't do dials in Tabletop Simulator. You have to do bags with counters in them.
Okay.
So stuff like that, you got to learn what all that stuff is and means. I think
sounds like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole here.
Unless you're going to build your own app, I think this is the best it's going to be for people that want to do tabletop gaming. I have to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people like using it to play all kinds of board games and stuff, but I personally have never tried it. So that's interesting. That was you able to successfully complete a game?
It took 6 hours. But Battlestar in person probably would take 4.5.
That game does not take 4.5 hours unless everyone is like goofing off and not paying attention, which I guess is also potentially what happens when you.
This is also potentially what happens online too.
Yeah,
when you realize midway through the game that you can resize the pieces on the board. And then everyone starts making their characters the size of the table. And then people get bored off on their turn and they try and play with the physics engine and skip Cylons across the board, which then move all the pieces around because the physics engine.
Mm-hmm.
And also there's a flip table button.
That's the part that makes me happy. So I watched the stream of the game that they were playing.
Did you know this feature existed, JJ?
What?
So I was playing a game on this call
through Steam
with some friends that knew how to play Battlestar, and then Michael came on later and was like, it just asked me through Steam, like, your friend wants you to stream this game. Do you want to stream this game to them?
Oh yeah, there's a watch game option if you like click through in the
through your
list.
friends list.
Yeah, I didn't really know that's how that worked.
Well, so obviously you could choose to start streaming it yourself.
Sure. But it was like a direct stream to whoever in my friends list wanted to see it. And then it was like a real stream. I had to go in and change the options lower because it killed my internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's uploading video, right? So.
Yep. Yeah, it was interesting and cool. And I think it worked. You got to see a little bit of the ridiculousness that was Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah. I got to see the table flip. That was all that I wanted to know.
All you were there for.
It was all I wanted to know existed, and when I saw that it did exist and then someone accidentally flipped the table, I was happy.
It was pretty funny.
Anyway. Accidentally, I can see the scare quotes right now.
Fortunately, you can undo it.
You can undo it. There's a rewind time button, thankfully. So, and the host can disable it.
Got it.
Yeah, here you go.
That's
Tabletop
cool.
Simulator. It's cool. It's square peg in the round hole is the wrong description, but it certainly seems more sandboxy even after you have the finished product than you would think. It's like, oh, we're not playing these expansions. Hold on, the host has to kind of like use a selector and then delete the things off the table. It's odd. It's odd. So there's a lot of odd stuff.
It's kind of manual, right? Like it doesn't do anything for you.
Seems like it depends on how much the programmer of the add-on wants to do. But there are limitations of the system that mean, some of it you're just going to have to do manually. And also the dice seem loaded. There were a lot of ones rolled.
True randomness does seem not random sometimes.
True. Fair.
Also, the pseudo randomness could be bad.
It's possible.
That sounds cool.
Have you been playing any Hearthstone? I played some Hearthstone.
Yeah, I actually did a decent amount of the new ranked with the Demon Hunter. Class was real good till they nerfed it. Then it's still real good. Yeah, it's all right. I've been playing some Battlegrounds here and there. After my like meteoric fall after the latest patch, I have not gotten back to my previous highs.
Seems like a lot of people hit 6 and then it decimates them. 6,000, that is.
I got to 6,000, like 6,100, and then a new patch was released, and then I lost like 10 games straight.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Can we talk about what they did to Battlegrounds?
Sure. Andrew, what do you mean, buddy?
So my guess is it's more popular, or at least as popular as the main game?
Don't think they've ever said that. But no way to know because they haven't said anything.
True. 2,500 gold. Or $20?
Yes, $19.99.
To not play that mode gimped.
But you get 4 tickets to play in the arena, Andrew. Don't you want to do that?
Such a value. Can I trade those?
No.
Oh.
I think they stick around, though, so you could like keep them forever. Whatever you're going to do. Arena, which is never.
So not really playing the main game anymore.
Yeah, so you had no gold, right? Is that the issue?
I have enough gold to play Battlegrounds this month. Or 3 months, or however long this Shadowlands expansion is.
Yeah, this Outland expansion. So probably you will need to start doing your daily quests if you want to do that for next month. Easily, you will make 2,500 gold if they keep it at that level. Just doing dailies and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
You will make quite a bit more than 2,500 in the course of a one expansion cycle. But yeah, if you want to try and do both this and the actual game, yeah, there's no way.
That's a real bummer.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people who were like, but Battlegrounds was like the only thing I liked in this game, and like it was so good. And they're like, well, you were playing it for free, basically.
Yeah, I had the fear, and I have a feeling that they were always planning to monetize the mode higher than they were during the beta. I mean, it was a beta. They basically said, here's a bunch of... Oh, it's still a beta? Okay.
They didn't take the beta tag off.
All right. So they reserved the right to change the price is what they're saying.
Uh-huh. So I guess, like, here's my... before, right? Basically what you're talking about is, like, choosing from 2 heroes versus choosing from 4 is, like, a massive gap, right?
It's a very large advantage to have 4 heroes to choose from instead of 2.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think someone who is better at math than me said that it's like up to a 5% difference in your win rate outcome, which is huge, right? Like that's like a huge amount.
That is probably skewed because they still have not nerfed Millhouse.
Yeah, so obviously, right, like, hey, if you have a chance of getting one of these super broken heroes, like you're just going to win more because you got the super broken one, right? Like that's just the case. But also, having a choice of 4 versus 2 is like a huge difference in getting that choice. So like that's a big difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
And previously, right, how it worked was like you had to buy packs. That was
or earn them through quests, which they basically gave you enough to get the hero boost out of.
So it was, you would get 10 would give you access to stats, and then 20 gave you the thing that was the extra hero before, right?
I believe you're right.
And so 20 packs would have been around 2,000 gold. So this is 2,500, so it's a little more. And then you immediately get access to all of the perks, whatever they are. It's relatively similar in terms of gold cost. I see how that they could make that equivalence. I don't know how anyone thinks this is worth $20, though.
The 2,500 gold thing, I see where you're getting the math. But before, if you earned a pack through the release quests for the expansion, they counted against the pack requirement. There's no more pack requirement. It's just straight up like you need to sink your gold.
Yeah.
Or have pre-purchased to get the pass.
Yeah, so that pass, the one that comes with so there are 2 pre-purchases for Hearthstone these days. There's like a $50 get 50 packs kind of bundle. And then there is a like $80 purchase, which in this case included the Battlegrounds pass.
Okay.
Which is too much to spend on Hearthstone, I will say.
Especially at 4 expansions a year.
Yeah, so it's certainly too much, right?
We've had this discussion before. This is old waters.
Yeah, so it certainly is a gold sink, right? And I think I wonder if they have been worried about people not playing the base game anymore, or if this is a case where like people would stop playing the base game once they got to a certain amount of cards, and then we're just like, I'm done with this. And now it's harder for them to get to that level of cards, right?
Right. Yeah, it definitely has that feeling. Oh man, this Battlegrounds thing is popular.
Yeah. Like the thing I wonder, I just like, who pays $20 for this? I just can't.
I very much enjoy it, even with the tougher patches that have come out. There was a period in the middle there where it was bad. They did a lot of work to change it.
I think it's in a pretty good place right now.
And it is now,
like
especially with
except for Millhouse.
Millhouse is bad, but the broken heroes are cool broken, not like crazy broken. If people don't play them well, they lose.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It's in a good-ish spot. So I like it a bit, but I still would not pay $20 for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not $20.
Like,
I would pay $20 one time for it.
Sure.
Every
forever.
3 months. No way.
Yeah. Then so that's the thing. Like it is really easy to just earn gold in Hearthstone. Like if you just log in once a day, you can play for about 10 minutes and finish that daily quest. You will earn like 6,000, 5,000, 6,000 gold per expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Like no problem. So, man, and like there's enough buffer there that you can, skate by not doing it every day. It's pretty easy to get that amount of gold, but like with that level of generosity, why would you pay $20? It's crazy.
Because it's still in beta. It'll be 5,000 when it's in release.
Oh God, Andrew, you're killing me. That if it was that much, it would actually force me to choose between actually playing Hearthstone and that. But I mean, as it is, I can only rank up in Wild because I don't have enough cards to play Standard anymore. So
that's not surprising. Not in a like your bad way, but like in a I just can't imagine trying to keep up with Magic you do and Hearthstone like you do and play Halo. It's overwhelming. At a certain point, you just can't do dailies anymore. It's not enjoyable.
You just grind out the games a little bit, It's interesting too, though. Like I went in waves. I played a whole bunch of Hearthstone really quick. I shot up the ladder to like Platinum 10 or whatever the number is in Wild, and then I was like, I'm good. I think to get higher than this, I'm going to have to actually like get good at Hearthstone, and I don't want to do that. Care about my win rate and use a deck tracker and stuff. It's like, nah. So, but then like I basically like don't play ranked anymore. I got to where I feel is good, and I'm done. And now I'm back to Magic and Battlegrounds. So, yeah, it's good. I don't know. The interesting that I mean, I agree that it's kind of weird that they really came out of nowhere and are just like, hey, everyone, pay more money here. But I guess it's not that surprising.
Well, if you're talking about games that have in-game purchases, did you guys see today that the ESRB put out a new rating category?
No.
Huh?
So the everybody's favorite organization, the ESRB, that rates all of the video games that come out, announced.
As a person that has worked for industry-funded organizations before, the ESRB may have made some bad decisions in the past. But let's remember the core mission and the idea behind the ESRB, which is please don't hope or have the idea that government trying to solve rating video games and what can be in them is a great idea either.
Certainly.
Right? Like
I don't think anyone disputes the idea that the ESRB is better than government regulation in the same place. Like, there's no way that would go better.
I don't think.
Right.
I don't think they've done a great or perfect job. But make better what we have maybe before we lose it. You know what I mean?
Did they change their rating system, Michael? What did they do?
No, so it's specifically a new descriptor that they released.
Is it on the box with the rating? Or like on, like T for teen is right there on the front, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's where that would be, or with it, or under it?
No, it's with it. You know how they have descriptors underneath?
Okay, so mild violence.
It's right, stuff like that. So
whatever, yeah.
This particular one relates to the in-game purchases tag. There is now an addendum that will state includes random items.
Oh, the loot box tag.
That
basically.
is really not helpful.
Okay, why don't you think so?
Includes random items.
Yes.
Okay.
No. So this is in addition to in-game purchase, right? It's
right. So in-game purchase, and then in parentheses includes random items.
So in-game purchase is a new category as well.
No, that was already there, I think.
So in-game purchase.
I think that one got introduced 2 years. In-game purchase, I think, got introduced like 2 years ago with the whole European court decision, Battlefront.
Okay,
fiasco.
So it's like I'm buying skins, right? Straight up.
Right.
In-game purchase. And then in parentheses now, next to in-game purchase, it could say includes random items.
Right. So you don't know what you're purchasing necessarily.
But includes is a bad word.
Okay.
Because one could read that and say, if I buy an in-game item, I'm getting extra random items because they're included.
You would have to read the listing.
Right? But the box, right? The box, this is the whole idea is we're going to tell you based on the box whether it's safe to buy this for your kids.
Are you okay with your kids playing a game that has a purchase?
I might be okay. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, does in-game purchase also mean DLC?
Probably.
Because,
can you purchase it in-game?
Yeah, I know. So this is
I think that's why you have the tag, is to differentiate.
Maybe it's too wide of a blanket is what I'm getting at.
I think it was already an extremely wide blanket, and so this narrows it a little bit in certain cases, but I would rather have this than not have this, right?
Yeah.
In the case where it's a game that only sells loot boxes, like, let's say,
why can't we
Overwatch?
put the term loot boxes on the box?
They looked into that, and they said
don't want
that,
to do that.
Well, what they found was that putting loot boxes is not helpful because I guess they surveyed people. The average parent doesn't understand what a loot box is, even if in a lot of cases, they think they do.
In-game paid items are random seems better than in-game paid items including random items. Is that what they said?
In-game purchases, and then in parentheses, includes random items.
See, I just feel like it's not as clear as I understand the term loot boxes jargon, and that's a problem.
You do, and apparently they don't.
What, the loot boxes jargon? I'm okay with them not putting. Once you explain to me that people don't understand what loot box means, I get that, and that's okay. But there had to be a clearer way to say, like, yo, these items you buy are random.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a better way to word this. I guess it's baby steps, and I'm happier it's there than not being there. I wish they would just make it illegal.
Yeah, that might be the one place where they're not going to help.
Yeah. Again, the industry-funded group at some point is at the behest of the industry, right?
See, yeah. And, you know, they'll try to do good. I mean, their general mission is to do things so that, you know, people don't lose the ability to have livelihoods, right? it's one of those problems where they're going to provide gambling services, addiction services, rather than take out the gambling.
Right. And that's the crux of the issue, right? Is that the random item stuff triggers that gambling.
Yeah.
Same things. That's the same reason why gambling is regulated is why this stuff shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, maybe that. I mean, really, that might be a better term that they could put on the box. Is like includes in-game gambling.
So I think there is already a term for that, though. Like if you can play poker in the game, I think they have a thing for like includes gambling elements or something.
Huh.
I could be wrong about that because they have one for like in-game use of tobacco.
Yeah, that was an easy one, huh?
Hey, you know what this is? They smoke a cigarette in here. I'm putting the thing that says they use tobacco, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I would love for the ESRB to be a good thing and for people not to talk about how it's a bad thing, because worrying about if Hawaii and Washington are going to regulate in-game loot boxes different than California and different than Texas and it's just such a mess. And having an industry person step in and say, you really should codify all this stuff so we can put it on the box easily.
Yeah, I understand. I'm with you. Also, they should ban loot boxes.
Older and wiser me says that you're probably right.
Yeah, I think before our current hellscape descended on us, there was people were like relatively aware of the fact that it was pretty scummy and like not like you could hear people being like, this doesn't seem very fair, kind of seems like gambling, but you really are really trying to tell us that it's not, which is a bad sign, right? And politicians were like, and then all this happened and everyone forgot about it. And like, I wonder if in a world where this virus stuff didn't happen, if that would have gone a different way and enough politicians would have given it the side eye that companies would have just been like, we're just not going to do this anymore out of the goodness of our hearts.
The EA move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're entering a zone though, where I think it's going to start to be, you're expecting games to release at $60, but if you really like it, you're going to have to pay $80 or $100. Kingdom Hearts already got to a lot of their fans with the whole like, well, there's actually a real ending and it costs you $20 more.
Oh, there are already games that do that, man.
Yeah, well, so far I know there's DLC for a lot of stuff that I like, but I look at the descriptor of what it is and it's more like, here's a side quest. And I'm like, okay, well, if I love this enough to come back to it someday, maybe I'll pay for the DLC side quest.
As opposed to gating the end of the game off.
Civ.
I mean, there's literally a game that has a true ending behind DLC, which is awful.
Yeah. I mean, that's not good. And, Civ last week we talked about, I mean, if you really like Civ, you pretty much have to pay the extra expansion costs because coming from the previous Civ, you're going to think stuff's missing.
Right. And it's one of those things where like that's always how the release works. And so you have played the full all expansion Civ for a while, and then you get the new Civ that doesn't have all the expansions anymore. And you're like, oh, it seems like it's missing a bunch of stuff. But then you compare base game to base game and it's like pretty similar, right?
Right. Exactly. Huh? Yeah. That's the, if they can't sell loot boxes, it's going to have to start being like, well, we can get the kids version out there for $60 and then the adults are going to have to pay another 20 or 40 on top. You know what I mean?
Or what if the base price of the game for everyone was like 70 instead of 60 and then they didn't have any of this DLC stuff and they just released games?
That would be great, especially because we don't usually on this show pay that price.
That's what I'm saying.
How many games do you think they would sell a year, though, at $80 a pop instead of $60?
Probably as many as they sell of games at $60 a pop, plus two $20 DLCs.
No, I don't think that's true. You sell less for sure, right? Like At $59.99, you can convince someone to buy a game that when you see like $70, someone's going to go, oh, no way, that's so much more.
I mean, this Jedi game I've been playing for 30 hours, and it's got a lot of rendering in it. I'm sure they're barely scraping by with making money on that game.
No, they're probably doing fine. But they also sold like 1 billion copies of that game across every console that exists and PC, right?
And I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced they made what they could or should make for a game like that. The amount of work that went into it, you know?
I mean, if you want to get into an argument about like, should they pay their workers better or something, like, yeah, we could have that kind of argument. But, that's probably beyond the scope of this podcast.
Yeah. But what are you going to do if you can't sell loot boxes on one of your games, right? Yeah, everyone's going to have their loot box game.
Well, what you can do is you can email us at podcast@weweregamers.com and tell us what you think they should do.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. If you have more you want to say, it's fine.
Hey, and if you're the one out there continuously trying to hack my Google email, you also could email at podcast@email.com or whatever the website is.
Nice.
And tell me what the heck you're doing and why I'm still getting Google verification requests. Knock it off.
Time to change that password, my man.
I mean, they're not getting in. I'm still getting verification requests, obviously.
All right. Well, please tell Andrew what's going on with his Google account, please. Anonymous hacker out there. Thank you. Also, we are on all kinds of social media. If you want to come talk to us and hear about this show, we put up a new Picard episode recently. It's pretty good. Andrew and I talked about that.
I like that show.
Final episodes of this first season.
I like to like that show. I don't know that it's great, but I liked to like it. But please, either kill Rafi or kill or kill her tongue when she says the word JL.
Yeah, really. You can boil down the whole dislike of that character to that right there.
I have to hit mute if I ever watch an episode with her in it again. When she says, I could see the J forming, I'll just hit mute until she's done.